So here's a thing. Do you think that humans can have symbiotic relationships, honest symbiotic relationships with other animals? So what they freely give to us, we also freely give back in a non-contractual, non-obligatory, non-consensual way. So it's a free exchange without thinking. So one, do we do it? Can we do it now? And then, hypothetically, could we move that on to a post-vegan world? So let's start from now. I think we can. And I think we do. And I'll give you an example. The common housefly in the UK buzzes around, does its thing, possibly does some good, I don't know. And assuming that we are nice, compassionate, vegan type people, we let it do its thing, don't we? Let it do its thing. Don't even waft it out the window. Similarly, the arch enemy of the housefly, the common or garden spider, especially in this autumn weather, starting to come into the house a bit more, getting the web going, catching a fly. But by letting it be, what we do, here's the symbiosis bit, the spider catches the fly. No, it's not a nursery rhyme. And what do we do though? You go, what do we do? We're just leaving it to be. No, we give it warmth, heated house, a construction, shelter from the rain, shelter from birds and bats that might want to eat it. And we don't do that on any sort of contractual basis. All of us are doing it without thinking about it. Now, it might only be one example, but I reckon we could find some more. Now, moving on to a post-vegan world, let's say we have liberated the farmed animals, and through supply and demand, there are not many of them left. We've got this down to farmed animals. The breeding has ceased in an exploitative manner, right? But there are a few around, and there are still sanctuaries for farmed animals. So let's say you've got pastures and there's green grass everywhere, and there's healthcare for them that you can provide if they need it. If they need it. And you just let them live their lives. And you can feed them as well. And this is possibly the grey area for me, is if there's a bull there, yeah, let them carry on. Now, here's the thing. Is that acceptable? Because, of course, in the wild, we wouldn't think of stopping or interfering as a vegan with natural reproduction. Now, if we're in a post-vegan world, but we're caring for some of our ex-farmed animal friends, who are we to say, you can't reproduce, you can't breed, you can't reproduce? Who are we to say that in that scenario? So what do you think? I mean, I was talking to a fellow advocate this morning who was saying, well, you know, in some cases, the process of mating and so on is particularly unpleasant for the female of that species. But I mean, again, who are we to say that? Who are we? That's interfering. So I'm saying if we don't interfere. Now, you might then say, so, okay, let's just say ethically, that's acceptable because it's natural. What we do, understanding that unfortunately through breeding, these species of our animal friends are not able to necessarily care fully, even in the outdoors, for their young necessarily. We are there to help. So we can do that, but do we just not interfere? Now you might say, so what do we get out of it? Where's the symbiosis in this? You know, you're kind of just sort of saying, to the farmed animals. We are just going to let you do your thing, because if you think about it, there is an amount of, quite a lot of human control in deciding not to allow farmed animals to reproduce. Do you see what I'm saying? Absolute discussion point. This is not necessarily what I think. I'm just thinking through the mouth. So do you then say, well, that is acceptable to let them breed? What we get out of it, though, is the enjoyment of being around what are effectively placid, ex-domesticated animals through previous breeding by humans that we disagree with for the animal agriculture industry. But these lovely animals are there, they exist, enough through supply and demand and lower breeding levels in our lovely sanctuaries that we've made, which is a safe environment for them. So they are living a lovely life. What we get is hanging out a bit with them, if you like, right? Just for some, conversation. And we do, if they so want to, let them breed. Don't know. I've banged on about it for far too long. So we've been through houseflies, spiders, and let's say cows. What do you think?